Long live the Supreme Leader. Kylo Ren is now in charge of the First Order and arguably the ruler of the galaxy. This is absolutely crazy, and while we don't have any idea what Episode 9 will be like, you can bet that we are going to see what kind of a ruler Kylo Ren will be. Let's talk about it. What is up, YouTube? It's Josh. This is the Den of Nerds. If you love Star Wars the way I love Star Wars, you're gonna want to subscribe to this channel. I've got a long list of Star Wars videos coming out dealing with everything that happened in The Last Jedi. Oh, and shout out to Kaya Gamboy, who got the nerd card question correct on my Reylo video. You definitely know your stuff when it comes to Star Wars, so shout out to you. There will be another nerd card question at the end of this video. Alright guys, so whether or not you love or hate The Last Jedi, you have to admit that it is pretty intriguing that we will finally see a Skywalker in charge of the entire galaxy. Vader mentioned several times that he wants to secure his new empire, that he can overthrow the Emperor, and that he will rule the galaxy either with Padme or later on with his son. But that never comes to fruition. He never gets to finish what he started. And I think this was the end goal for Kylo Ren the entire time. But I do believe that he's being twisted by Snoke and is super conflicted. So it's kind of a tricky thing to say. But I will say that I believe that Kylo does make a decision to end Snoke at some point in this film, and that he may have toyed with that idea before. In either case, it's incredibly interesting that he will do what no Skywalker has been able to do before. And I absolutely love the idea of him letting it all burn, as he says, letting it all die, and just establishing a new order in the galaxy. It's incredibly intriguing to me, and I cannot wait to see where we go from here. Now let's talk about what this could actually look like in Episode 9, and I think the best indicator that we have thus far is when Luke Skywalker looks into the mind of Kylo Ren. He looks into his future, and what he sees is beyond what he could have ever imagined. And up until this point in Star Wars, I do not believe that Kylo Ren has done anything other than kill Han Solo, but anything that would have triggered such a reaction in Luke Skywalker. I mean, it's literally so bad that Luke, the unshakable Luke, has the briefest moment of weakness and thinks he could avoid it by killing him. So the only way that I can reconcile that scene is if that was either manipulated by Snoke and Snoke gave Luke that vanishing shadow of a thought, or by what Luke saw. If Luke truly sees something that is absolutely ridiculous, then I can see him having that kind of a reaction. I think that's exactly the explanation, and I think that Kylo Ren will rule as an incredibly cruel king. I mean, Kylo Ren literally in certain translations means the king of the new. I mean, Kylo means king, and Ren is like a rebirth or new in, I believe, in ancient Hindi or Sanskrit or something like that. But I believe that this was sort of hinted at the very beginning. It was always the First Order's motif to sort of be incredibly cruel, but remember, Kylo, even in the beginning of The Force Awakens, orders the troops to kill all of the villagers. He says at the end of The Last Jedi, give no quarter, no surrender. I do believe we will get a time jump, and Kylo will already have a reputation around the galaxy as being incredibly cruel, but also being the person that is in charge. I think that he will take the Knights of Ren to the next level, because he says he doesn't want to have the Sith or the Jedi. And I think a lot of the Kylo character is about finding his own place in the story. I mean, he says this to Rey, that she has no place in the story, but really neither does he. I mean, he'll never be able to live up to the light side legacy that Luke Skywalker has, and he'll never be able to be the most powerful Sith of all time or one of the craziest Sith that anyone's ever heard of in Darth Vader. The Knights of Ren are his way of establishing a new order of Force users and taking them to the next level. And I really hope that this is something that we get. What's strange is, so JJ is writing and directing Episode 9, and he was on record a year ago saying that if he did do another Star Wars film, he would want to do a Knights of Ren movie. So perhaps he will work them in a major way, and we will get the Knights of Ren as a dominant Force-using group moving forward, replacing the Sith as the dark side Force users in the galaxy. I think that's absolutely incredible. And what I would really like is if they numbered way more than just a handful of students that he takes from Luke Skywalker. I think they should be numerous, like a ton of them, which would be really cool and set up some cool stuff down the line. Whether or not Kylo Ren will actually be good at being the Supreme Leader is kind of questionable. I mean, we see sides of him that are incredibly calculating. He knows exactly how to take out that Mont Calamari ship to the exact numbers. I mean, the dude knows military stuff very well. He's incredibly gifted in the Force, and when he is able to keep his emotions in check, he has acted in some wise ways. But therein lies the rub, because Kylo's greatest flaw is his instability as a person. Whenever he sees anything that reminds him of his father or his former master, he sees red and is so angry that he makes obvious mistakes, like wasting all of that time and ammunition on fighting a ghost version of Luke Skywalker and sending all of his TIE fighters after the Falcon. I mean, he plays right into the hands of the rebels, and it's so obvious what his weaknesses are. So will he be able to overcome his weaknesses? Will he be able to formulate a partnership with Hux and allow Hux to do what he does well? Or will he just be this arrogant sort of cocky ruler and his hubris get the best of him? I don't know. It's way too early to tell, but those are the obvious observations. That's the two ways that it could go. Either way, I think the real downfall of Kylo Ren as the Emperor will be Rey and the feelings that he has for her, because despite being incredibly cruel, we do see light side in Kylo in The Last Jedi. I mean, he doesn't kill his mother, and he obviously has feelings for Rey. He says that he'll destroy her when talking to Luke Skywalker, but I think even the audience doesn't buy those emotions. He cares about her, and he wants to turn her rather than destroy her. I believe that their connection and her continuously trying to find the hope within him will eventually be the thing that causes his downfall. And I don't know whether or not she will just defeat him or turn him, and he will make some kind of a sacrifice to set the galaxy on the right course. But either way, I think Rey is being set up as the thing that will defeat either Kylo Ren himself or the evil within him. Personally, I really don't see Kylo turning. I think that Rey's going to have to kill him, and it might be this terribly beautiful thing that's agonizing to watch because we know they love each other. Kylo knows that if he could just get over that side of himself, that they could be together and probably actually do a lot of good, but it's just not going to happen because he can't get over that. And honestly, there's a lot of dark side in Rey. She probably could be very happy and successful at Kylo's side ruling the galaxy, but similarly, she's just too stubborn, wants to be good, and won't be able to do that. So that's kind of interesting and where I think it's going to go. What do you guys think about Supreme Leader Kylo Ren? Do you think it's going to be amazing? Do you think it's going to be awful? Do you expect the Knights of Ren to have a huge place in Episode 9? And do you think Rey and the love that Kylo has for her will be the thing to defeat him? Let me know all of that and more in the comment section below. All right, let's check that nerd card really quickly. I want to know, what are the names of the nun-like aliens that are upkeeping the Jedi structures on Ahch-To? These are the funny little fish-looking people that don't like Rey at all, and what is the name given to them in the film? Answer that question in the comment section below. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and nerdy day. See ya!